First up, there is no let-up in violence in Syria's Aleppo. A Syrian Defense Ministry video showed the chief of the General Staff of the Syrian Armed Forces, General Abdul Karim Mahmoud Ibrahim, meeting his troops in northern Hama. The conflict has raised concerns globally. The Kremlin reiterated its support for Syria's president, while the US, France, Germany and the UK issued a joint statement on the situation in Syria, urging for de-escalation. Fuzail Ahmed has more.
These are the visuals from scenes after a Russian strike and rebels in the main streets in Syria's second city of Aleppo, as they pressed a lightning offensive against forces of the Iranian and Russian-backed government forces. Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov reiterated Russia's support for Syrian President Bashar al-Assad.
Of course, we continue to support Bashar al-Assad. We continue our contacts on the relevant level. We analyze the situation. Russia's position will be formed in regard of what is needed for the stabilization of situation.
Words of support for Syrian government also came from Iran. Iran's foreign minister Abbas Araghchi met with Syrian President Bashar al-Assad, who vowed on Sunday to crush insurgents who had swept into the city of Aleppo, while Russian and Syrian jets struck the rebel-held city of Idlib in northern Syria. Iranian Foreign Ministry spokesman said Iran plans to keep military advisors in Syria.
The presence of the Islamic Republic of Iran's advisor in Syria is not a new thing. It has already existed. So, it will continue in the future according to the wishes and the opinion of the Syrian government.
A Britain-based NGO, the Syrian Observatory for Human Rights, said pro-Turkey fighters seized a strategic northern town from Kurdish forces on Sunday that ran parallel to a major rebel offensive elsewhere in Aleppo province. On the other hand, Syrian rebel fighters were seen at the Aleppo International Airport and the nearby Nairab military airport after a lightning offensive against government forces and their allies. Islamist-led rebels on Saturday seized most of Aleppo along with its airport and dozens of nearby towns. A Syrian opposition leader said that the rebels would not stop fighting until the Syrian government committed to United Nations process and a political transition.
We won't stop fighting until one of two things happens. Either this regime commits to entire political process to implement the UN Security Council resolution until we reach a political transition.
United States, France, Germany and the United Kingdom issued a joint statement on the situation in Syria. The joint statement reads, "We are closely monitoring developments in Syria and urge de-escalation by all parties and the protection of civilians and infrastructure to prevent further displacement and disruption of humanitarian access. The current escalation only underscores the urgent need for a Syrian-led political solution to the conflict in line with the United Nations Security Council Resolution 2254. The renewed conflict has raised concerns in the region and other parts of the world as well. Turkey says Syrian government needs to reconcile with opposition. Iran blames US for latest developments. The war, which has killed thousands of people and displaced millions on the ground since 2011, with no formal end. But most major fighting halted years ago after Iran and Russia helped Assad's government win control of most land and all major cities. Fuzail Ahmed reporting for DD India.